I stood in the doorway of my own home, invisible. They were all there, my daughter, my son, my grandchildren, laughing around the table I'd set for 50 years. And not one of them noticed I was gone. I need you to understand something before I tell you the story. I was a good mother. No, scratch that. I was an exceptional mother. I gave up my career as a chemist when Sarah was born, because that's what you did in 1975. I poured everything into raising my children. Every scraped knee, every school project, every midnight fever, I was there. And the cooking. God, the cooking. 18,000 meals. I calculated it once during a sleepless night after everything fell apart. 50 years of marriage. 3 meals a day, sometimes more. 18,000 times I stood at that stove, measuring love in cups and tablespoons. But what I didn't know, what I couldn't have known until it was too late, was that my last meal had already been served. And I wasn't invited to eat it. My name is Margaret Chin, and I'm 73 years old. 3 months ago, I was living in the house my husband Robert and I bought in 1974. The house where we raised Sarah and Michael. Today, I'm living in a one-bedroom apartment above a laundromat where the streetlights flicker and die. This is the story of how I got here. The beginning of the end started on a Tuesday. Robert's birthday. He would have been 76. He'd been gone for 6 months by then, massive heart attack while watching the evening news. One moment complaining about the government, the next moment just gone. The grief was still fresh, still had teeth. 51 years sleeping next to that man. Even when I was angry with him, I loved him. And then he wasn't there anymore. But I wasn't alone. That's what I kept telling myself. Sarah came by every Sunday, bringing the grandchildren. Emma, 16, and Lucas, 13. Michael called every Wednesday evening at exactly 7 o'clock. They were there for me. I was lucky. On Robert's birthday, I decided to cook something special. Beef Wellington, his absolute favorite. 6 hours of careful work. I set the table with a good china, lit candles, poured his favorite Cabernet. At 6 o'clock, as the Wellington was cooling, Sarah called. Mom, eat. Listen, I can't make it this Sunday. Emma has a volleyball tournament. Something in her voice was off. Too casual. Too rehearsed. She didn't mention it was Robert's birthday. For 51 years, Sarah had never forgotten her father's birthday. That night, I couldn't sleep. At 2 in the morning, I opened Facebook on the iPad Sarah had given me for Christmas. I rarely used it, always felt awkward on social media. I clicked on Sarah's profile. The most recent post was from 6 hours ago. Amazing family dinner tonight. So grateful for these moments with the people I love most. The photo showed Sarah, her husband Derek, Emma, Lucas, and Michael with his wife Jennifer and their 2 kids. They were all crowded around Sarah's dining room table, laughing. They'd had a family dinner on Robert's birthday without me. I stared at that photo for 20 minutes, looking for some explanation. But I knew. Deep in my bones, I knew. I scrolled further. 2 weeks ago, Sunday brunch with everyone. 1 month ago, game night at Michael's. 6 weeks ago, Michael's birthday celebration. They'd had it without telling me. I kept scrolling, kept finding evidence of a family life I wasn't part of. Holiday photos, weekend gatherings, random Tuesday dinners, all posted publicly as if it didn't matter whether I saw them. The next morning, I wrapped up half the beef Wellington and drove to Sarah's house unannounced. I was going to ask her directly, just a mother asking her daughter if something was wrong. I rang the doorbell 3 times. I could hear movement inside, footsteps, voices. But no one answered. I stood on that porch for 10 minutes, hearing my own family move around inside, ignoring me. Finally, I left the beef Wellington on the doorstep like some desperate offering. That evening, Sarah texted, "Thanks for the food, Mom. You didn't have to do that."
No explanation. No acknowledgement.
Just 4 words that felt like patting a dog that had learned to fetch. For 3 weeks, I became someone I didn't recognize. I drove past Sarah's house at random times. I called Michael on days that weren't Wednesday. He didn't answer. I showed up at Emma's volleyball game and watched my granddaughter pretend not to see me in the stands. The rejection was eating me alive. I'd wake up at 3 in the morning convinced I'd forgotten something crucial. But there was nothing. I hadn't done anything wrong. Unless being their mother was the wrong I'd done. I tried to move on. Started volunteering, joined a book club, even went on a date with a widower from my grief support group. I was trying so hard to matter to someone, anyone. That's when I got the call from the estate lawyer. Mr. Patterson asked me to come to his office. Said there was a matter about Robert's estate that had recently come to light. When I arrived, he slid a document across his desk. Mrs. Chun, 6 months before his death, your husband created a new trust. He funded it with approximately $450,000, the majority of his life insurance and investments. I stared at him. I thought we had maybe $200,000 in savings. The trust names your children Sarah and Michael as primary beneficiaries. You are not mentioned. However, there is a letter. He left it with instructions that it be given to you if you ever inquired. My hands were shaking as I opened the envelope. Margaret, if you're reading this, I'm gone, and you've discovered the trust. The children need this money more than you do. Sarah's marriage is struggling. Derek lost his job, and they're drowning in debt. Michael's business is failing, and he's too proud to ask for help. You'll be fine. You have the house, your pension, Social Security. You don't need much, you never did. This is what good parents do. We sacrifice so our children can thrive. I know you'll do the right thing, and not make this difficult for them. I read it 3 times, then carefully folded it and tucked it into my purse. The trust is legal? I asked.
Yes.
Completely. And there's nothing I can do? You could contest it, but these cases are expensive and often unsuccessful. I drove home in a fog, made it to the driveway before I started screaming. Just screaming, wordless and raw, pounding the steering wheel. 51 years. 18,000 meals, 2 babies I'd carried and raised, a career I'd sacrificed, an entire life dedicated to building a family, and Robert had decided I was worth less than $450,000. But here's what made it worse. I didn't contest the trust. I never told Sarah or Michael I knew. When Michael called the following Wednesday, I pretended everything was normal. When Sarah asked me to babysit Lucas, first time in months, I said yes immediately. I babysat Lucas on a Saturday, made him grilled cheese sandwiches, helped with his math homework. When Sarah picked him up, I noticed something. She was wearing a new expensive watch. Derek had a new leather jacket. Their car had been detailed recently. The debt Robert mentioned, if it had ever existed, was apparently gone now. That night, I did something I'm not proud of. I created a fake Facebook account and sent friend requests to everyone in my family. They all accepted within hours. And then I saw everything. Michael had posted about a Disney World vacation 2 months ago. Everyone was there. Sarah's family, Michael's family, even Derek's parents. Just not me. Sarah had checked in at restaurants every weekend for the past month. Tagged family dinner each time. There were hundreds of photos going back months. Birthday parties, Christmas gatherings, a surprise party for Jennifer's 40th with a banner that said, "Family is everything." I wasn't in any of them. I had been cropped out of my own family. The worst part, they looked so happy without me that I lasted 2 more weeks before I broke. I showed up at Sarah's house on a Sunday afternoon unannounced. Through the window, I could see they were all there again. Everyone gathered in her living room. I rang the doorbell.
Knocked.
Knocked harder. Derek answered, looking startled, then uncomfortable. Margaret.
Hi.
We weren't expecting you. I pushed past him. The room went silent. Sarah was mid-sentence when she saw me. Michael's face went pale. Mom. Sarah stood. What are you doing here? How many of these have there been, Sarah? How many family gatherings I wasn't invited to? Mom. This isn't the time. When is the time? When am I allowed to be part of this family? Michael stood too. Mom, you're being dramatic. We're all busy. We have our own lives. I can see that. I've been watching on Facebook for weeks. Sarah's face changed. You've been stalking us? Stalking you? You're my children. I changed your diapers and nursed you through fevers and paid for college and babysat your children and cooked you 18,000 meals. And now I'm stalking you? The room went completely silent. Mom. Michael's voice was quiet. Let's talk privately. Not in front of the kids.
No.
We're talking now because I know about the trust. I know your father gave you almost $500,000. And I know that's when you stopped needing me. Sarah and Michael exchanged a look. That look told me everything. It was Jennifer who finally said it. You were exhausting. After Robert died, you were just exhausting. Every conversation was about your grief. Every phone call was you crying or needing something. We all had our own problems, and you just kept taking and taking. I felt punched. My husband died. And that's awful. But Margaret, you made it everyone else's problem. Sarah was dealing with Emma's college stress and Derek's job situation. Michael was trying to save his business. We were all drowning, and you kept pulling us under. Sarah looked up at me. Everyone grieves, Mom. But you acted like you were the only person who'd ever lost someone. He was our father too. And you never asked how we were doing. It was always about you. Michael nodded. We were grieving too, but we still had to take care of you. The words hit like stones. Each one true. Each one devastating. I thought you wanted to help, I whispered. We did. But Mom, you're a lot. You always have been. Constantly needing validation. Needing us to fix your loneliness. We couldn't save our own marriages and businesses while also saving you. I looked around the room. At my children, my grandchildren, the family I'd built. They were all looking at me like I was a burden. So the trust. That was your reward for putting up with me? Michael shook his head. Dad knew we needed help. He knew we couldn't tell you because you'd make it about you. He was protecting us. From me. No one answered. I stood there, understanding finally dawning. I hadn't been pushed out. I'd been edited out from a story that ran smoother without me in it. Mom, Sarah said, almost kindly, which made it worse. We don't hate you. We love you. But we need boundaries. We need space. I understand, I said. I'll go. I turned and walked out. Derek closed the door softly behind me. I sat in my car crying so hard I couldn't see. When I finally looked up, I saw movement in the window. They'd gone back to their gathering. The interruption had been removed. I'm writing this from my new apartment. I sold the house 3 weeks ago. Sarah and Michael were shocked, said I was being impulsive. I took the money and split it evenly between them. Early inheritance, just like their father gave them. I kept enough for the small apartment and a modest nest egg. I donated my grandmother's china, gave away most of my furniture. I kept almost nothing except photos from when my children were young, when they still looked at me like I hung the moon. I see them sometimes now by accident. We smile, wave, exchange brief pleasantries. They ask if I'm settling in okay. I say yes. They say we should get lunch soon. I say that would be nice. We both know it won't happen. But here's what I've learned. They were right. I was exhausting. I did make Robert's death everyone else's problem. I cooked 18,000 meals not out of love, but out of need. My need to be needed. I set that table every night not to nourish my family, but to trap them there. I gave up my career not as a sacrifice, but as an escape. Motherhood let me make other people responsible for my happiness. And when Robert died, I clung to Sarah and Michael like a drowning person, pulling them under. The cruelest part? I did it all in the name of love. But love doesn't suffocate. Love doesn't demand. Love doesn't make itself the center of every story. I'm 73 years old, and I'm finally learning what love actually looks like. It looks like space. It looks like letting go even when every instinct screams to hold tighter. My children are happier without me. My grandchildren are thriving. My family is healthier now that I've removed myself. And I'm taking an online chemistry course. I'm volunteering at a women's shelter. I'm building a life that doesn't revolve around being needed.
Some nights I still cry.
Some nights I still check Facebook and watch my family live without me. Some nights I cook elaborate meals alone, counting backwards. But most nights, I'm okay. Because I wasn't abandoned. I was released. And maybe that's what I needed all along. The last meal I cooked for my family, that beef Wellington on Sarah's doorstep, they did eat it. Sarah said it was delicious. She didn't know it was number 18,000. She didn't know it was goodbye. But I did. And somehow that was enough. I cooked 18,000 meals. They ate the last one without me. And that's okay. Because love, real love, knows when to leave the table. If this story spoke to your heart, don't let it fade. Subscribe to The Silent Parents, where every emotion finds a home.